international legal arguments in favor of recognition.
Let's go to the key question then. After we have so many similarities, where does Kiev currently stand with coming closer to the policy to recognize Kosovo?
Well, it's a difficult question. To me, it has several dimensions. Political dimension, moral, as I said, and international legal. I view it from the perspective of international law because all my life before I became politician, I was professor of international law. And to me, there are strong arguments, international legal arguments, in favor of recognition of Kosovo. First of all, we have decision of the International Court of Justice. Second, when we're talking about conflict between right to self-determination and territorial integrity, we should be aware that there is one exception to the principle of territorial integrity. When someone commits a genocide against the nation, it creates this exception from legal perspective, and at the same time, you know, our leadership has to be very careful right now during war. Maybe there is some apprehension regarding position of Serbia and regarding position of Vučić,
So can you explain to us, because you're very important in that on top of what you're saying, you come from Zelensky's party, the servants of the people, because we've had previously in Kosovo, we've had visits by Gočerenko, who argued for Kosovo's very openly about Kosovo's independence, but he's from the opposition. Now, I'm glad you are not from opposition and you think the same. Can you explain to us what is the resistance of the stakeholders? Who are the stakeholders that resist recognizing Kosovo, and what are their concerns?
I believe that right now, under circumstances when we're fighting for our survival during war, there are some political arguments in favor of not recognizing Kosovo, at least for now, because the basic argument is that it sounds like this, that if we recognize independence of Kosovo, it might have negative impact upon our legal argumentation against the so-called DNR, LNR, which are nothing but occupied, legally speaking, it's occupied by Russia territories, nothing more. And at the same time, to me...
But I'm very curious, for example, does Zelensky see more similarities and parallels of Ukraine with Kosovo rather than with DNR and LNR with Kosovo? I mean, just curious what his thinking is on this.
It's hard to say. I think in this situation, we usually ask for the opinion of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And they are trying to be careful, and rightly so, in these issues. You see, there is a certain, I would say, difference between position of the parliament. Yeah, we're trying to follow the policy of values, so to speak. Yes, and sometimes we can afford to be more idealistic, not realistic in terms of international relations theory. And ministry has to be more careful, and they see the bigger picture. Sometimes they see those things which we members of parliament don't see, and they take into consideration different factors.